Did you know that there was an ancient temple so secret that even the Greeks couldn't get in? Welcome to my channel. And today let's explore the Mystery Temples of Eleusis. When it comes to lost civilizations, there are few places as intriguing and enigmatic as the ancient Greek sanctuaries dedicated to the worship of Demeter and her daughter Persephone, known as the Eleusinian Mysteries. The rituals performed within these hallowed halls promised initiates eternal life and spiritual rebirth, making them the most sacred and secret ceremonies in all of classical Greece. But what actually went on inside the temple? How did the celebrants become immortal? Let's find out. Located in the town of Eleusis, about 14 miles northwest of Athens, the sanctuary was situated in a region known as the Plain of the Mysteries or the Sacred Way. It covered a vast area, including the Telesterion, also known as the Hall of the Mysteries, where the main rites were performed. It is presumed that the cult of Eleusis originated around 1500 BC with the worship of Demeter, the goddess of the harvest, and her daughter Persephone. According to Greek mythology, Persephone was abducted by her grandfather, Hades, the god of the dead, and taken down to the underworld. Demeter, distraught by the loss of her daughter, searched tirelessly for her, and her grief caused the earth to become barren and infertile. As the seasons turned and crops failed, humans began to suffer from hunger and cold, prompting them to seek help from the gods. Finally, Persephone was returned to the surface for part of each year, bringing with her the promise of spring and new growth. This myth formed a basis for the Eleusinian Mysteries, which celebrated the death and resurrection of Persephone and the hope it gave for the return of the goddess and the promise of immortality. The mystery cults, as they were called, were a prominent feature of Greek religion in the late Archaic and Classical periods, attracting followers from all over the Mediterranean world. However, the Eleusinian Mysteries were the most revered and influential of all, drawing in the greatest number of participants and inspiring the most awe and wonder. To understand why the Eleusinian Mysteries were so popular, it is essential to know more about the rituals themselves. In order to partake in the Eleusinian Mysteries, one had to undergo a lengthy and rigorous initiation process that took place over several stages. The first stage involved a series of purification rituals designed to cleanse the initiate of any impurities, distractions that might hinder their spiritual progress. During this time, the candidate would abstain from certain foods, such as fish and eggs, and perform a series of atoning sacrifices to appease the gods. Once purified, the initiate would then be led into the Telesterion, the sacred hall where the main ceremonies were held. What happened next, however, was kept secret from all outsiders. Those who attempted to reveal the mysteries risked being put to death. Such was the sanctity of the rites. It was said that even the shadows cast by the initiates in the Telesterion were put to death. Those who wished to keep the secrets of the mysteries until death must swear a sacred oath to do so. That oath goes like this, which we swear having been initiated to keep secret what we have seen and heard in the mysteries of the great goddess and not to reveal them, by word or gesture to any human being nor to allow another to do so. Whoever does will suffer the penalty of impiety, both now and in the future. And if he has already died, his descendants in the fourth generation shall die with him. If she who has been initiated reveals the mysteries, she shall be accursed in her womb and childbed, and her latest descendant also. Indeed, it seems that people didn't take kindly to spoilers back then either. According to Plutarch, a Greek philosopher who lived in the 1st century AD, the celebrants entered the Telesterion at dusk when the moon was waning and darkness was at its deepest. Inside the sanctuary, a large cauldron was filled with a mysterious brew called kaikia, which is believed to have contained psychoactive ingredients such as opium, henbane, and other narcotics. The kaikian was then sprinkled with barley and mixed by an old woman representing Demeter. After the mixture was blessed, it was served to the initiates, who drank it while seated on stone benches. It is said that the effects of the kaikian were so powerful that many initiates experienced profound visions and a deep sense of divine union. They saw wonderful sights and heard heavenly music, and some even claimed to have encountered the gods themselves. Plutarch described the experiences of the initiates as follows: those who partake of the holy drink become lighter in heart, having laid aside the weight of their sins, and freed from fear of the gods, passing into a state of the greatest security and joy, being conducted by the hand of the goddess through every part of the infernal world. Then when they have been initiated into the mysteries, they live more freely from their fears of evil and their hopes of good. But perhaps the most significant aspect of the initiation ceremony was the dramatic reenactment of Persephone's descent into the underworld and subsequent resurrection. This ritual symbolized the initiate's own spiritual journey, their death to the old self and their rebirth as a new person. By participating in this sacred drama, the initiates came to believe that they, too, could overcome the challenges of life and attain immortality through their connection with the divine. Unfortunately, we do want to have much information on the specifics of the rituals and ceremonies that took place in the Telesterion, because they were kept top secret. The secrecy surrounding the mysteries contributed to their allure, and drew in even more people wanting to know what went on behind the closed doors. It was considered rude to ask someone who had participated in the mysteries about their experience, and anyone who revealed any details of the rites was put to death. Even Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius refused to discuss what he had seen and heard during his initiation. The secrecy has ensured that the true nature of the rites has been lost to history, leaving us to speculate about what really transpired in the time. However, the lack of concrete information has not stopped scholars and enthusiasts from coming up with various theories and interpretations of the Eleusinian Mysteries. One of the most prevalent theories is that the rituals were a symbolic representation of the cycle of death, descent, and resurrection. This interpretation is supported by the myth of Persephone, whose journey to the underworld and eventual return is a central part of the Eleusinian Mysteries. According to this theory, the initiates entered the Telesterion as spiritually dead individuals, and through their participation in the mysteries, they were symbolically reborn into a state of enlightenment and immortality. Another theory suggests that the Kaikien played a crucial role in the initiation ceremony, inducing a trance-like state in the initiates, and allowing them to access higher levels of consciousness. This is supported by the fact that the recipe for Kaikien was kept secret, and that its effects were said to be profound and transformative. Some scholars have even suggested that the Eleusinian Mysteries may have had connections to other mystery cults, such as the cult of Dionysus, the god of wine and ecstasy. These theories are based on the similarities between the rituals of these two cults, such as the use of psychoactive substances and the emphasis on rebirth and resurrection. Despite these theories, the true nature of the Eleusinian Mysteries remains one of the greatest spiritual enigmas of the ancient world. While we may never know exactly what went on in the legacy of the mysteries lives on in the stories and writings of the ancient Greeks and Romans, who were so profoundly affected by these secret rites that they shared their experiences with the world. For them, the Eleusinian Mysteries were more than just a religious ceremony. They were a life-changing event that unlocked the secrets of life and death, and revealed the true nature of the divine. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any of our videos. Also, please comment below with your thoughts about the Eleusinian Mystery, and we'll see you next time on our channel.